Hi guys, CR Gaming here. Just wanted to give you a tutorial of the Spirit of St. Louis. So I just did spawn on the runway. One of the things you want to do if you need to start it from scratch, you have your mixture control right up here. If that goes all the way down to lean, this is how you start the plane. You just click on this little sticky tab, and that is the guy doing the hand prop outside. You do of course need to put your mixture up first, and that should be started. Let's look outside and see. Yep, my engine's on. Now on the Spirit of St. Louis, you obviously can't see right in front of you, so you want to make sure you're lined up for the runway ahead of time. Over here we have a couple different controls. This is going to be your trim control. Especially on a long flight, that's going to be really important to get that trim correct so it doesn't keep climbing or keep descending. Over here we have our throttle. And then up here we have all of our gauges. So the one that you're going to want to be looking at a lot is this airspeed indicator. You want to make sure you're not stalling. You also have your magneto switch here. You can just leave it on both the whole time though, unless something goes wrong. Here you have your turn bank indicator. This is similar to the ADI that you'd have on a regular plane. This right here shows your bank, and right here shows your pitch. Now, as you can see, we're 10 degrees up because we are in a tail dragger, so until we get off the ground, we will be 10 degrees up. And then we have fuel quantity here. We do have a couple fuel valves here that may need to be switched partway through the flight. And up here we have a couple compasses. This is our main compass. We have another magnetic compass right here. And then we have another compass right over here, but I'm not 100% sure how to get this one to work. It spins around like that. I'm not really sure how to calibrate it properly. But this is another compass if you get it working. In the back of the plane, we got some more fuel. We got our famous wicker chair. And that's about it. So I'm going to take off here. I want to take off with it full rich on the fuel mixture, and once we get in the air, we're going to tune that back so we don't waste any fuel on this long flight. Now keep in mind, since it's going to really want to kick to the left as you start taking off. Since you can't see in front of you, the best thing to do is just keep an eye on the edges of the runway. If you can see the edge of the runway in both windows, you're still on the runway. Obviously, I got a little too far right there. As we increase our speed, we should be able to take off here nice and gently. And we're off the ground. Now, obviously, there's no landing gear on this plane. No GPS or anything like that either, so you're going to be primarily navigating with that compass and using a stopwatch. Oops. Climbing up a little too fast there. Almost had a little bit of a stall. Now, there's no stall alarm on this plane, so you'll have to feel the stall. Now we're really heavy with almost a full fuel load, so we just got to take off nice and gentle. As you can see on the indicator here, I'm 10 degrees nose up. And my airspeed is climbing, so that's good. So one of the things we're going to want to do once we get to altitude is lean out our mixture. I'm going to show you that a little bit right now, even though I won't be able to lean it as far since I'm not at full altitude. The one thing you're going to want to look at is this RPM gauge right here. We basically want to lean out our mixture using this lever right here until we start losing RPM. Then we want to go a little bit back. So we're at 20,000 right now, or 2,000 right now. So we're going to keep leaning it back. We lost a little bit right there. Now we're losing a little bit more right there. So I'm going to keep it at around 6. I was actually, did have it loaded for the bush trip, but I'm not actually flying in that direction right now. So that's why it's giving me that warning there. So right now I'm pulling back a lot on the stick to keep it at that 10 degrees nose up to try and gain some altitude here. So we're going to use this trim wheel right here. So I can pull that lever back. And as I pull that lever back, you can see my stick is going forward. Oops, maybe not so far back. Oops, a little more. So I'm manually pushing my stick forward as I pull that back. And now we're pretty well trimmed to keep climbing. As you can see, I'm turning to the right, that bubble went to, I'm turning to the left rather, that bubble went to the right. So now we're pretty well trimmed to continue climbing. Once we get to our altitude that we want to get to, we'll trim it again to stay flat. My hand's off the stick right now, so as you can see, the plane, will keep its vertical pretty well, although it is turning without me here. So you do have to keep an eye on it. But that's pretty much all you need to know to fly the Spirit of St. Louis. When you do land, since it's a tail dragger, you want to land with your main gear first, not on the tail. And that's pretty much it. Have a good flight. Thanks for watching.